How's it going, Honda Force? It's been a minute. I'm Fake Honda. Today we're going to be looking at two pretty gnarly figures that I haven't quite seen anything like before. We're going to be looking at the Neon City versions of Rem and Ram from the hit anime series ReZero. Before we get into the figures, be sure to hit that like button down below for more of this kind of content. Oh, and subscribe, of course. Anyway, let's check them out. Bam, here we go. Here we have Ram, and here's Rem. As you can see, Neon City was definitely the right term to use for these figures. They are very cyberpunk-esque. I would argue they look a lot better than anything I saw in that game, Cyberpunk 2077. But that's another topic for another time. Anyway, so the producers of these two figures are E-Stream and Alpha Satellite. I haven't seen too many other figures come out from them as of yet, but the figures that I have seen, well, actually, most of them are, well, they do a few different series. They do ReZero, they do Sword Art Online, and I believe My Hero Academia. Not 100% sure. You guys can check out their website. I might leave a link down in the description, but I'll definitely leave a link in the description for both of these figures, where you can pre-order those. Getting into the composition of the figures, they both have this diorama style bases, which I gotta say, this whenever I see figures that have this kind of base that just really puts the figure in its own environment, just really like that's like my favorite. That's my favorite kind of base, you know? I talk about figure bases a lot on this channel. Anyway, the fatiguing on the, or I guess the distressing on the concrete for both of these figures looks really excellent. Makes it look really, you know, like you would expect to see in LA, unfortunately, as I have to say. I gotta say, though, the weathering on both of these looks phenomenal. You can see a little bit of this deteriorating concrete, this brick here next to Ram. For Rem, you see some of the rust here on the corner of these signs. And then, here, let me find a bigger picture of these pipes here. Hang on. There we go. And these pipes, they could have just left them kind of mundane, but they decided to pull these up, which I think adds a lot more character to the environment that she's in. These pipes crawling down this post here as well, cracks along this post where these pipes are coming in. And on this one, the attention to detail, especially on the rust of this "Do Not Enter" sign right here, looks absolutely fantastic. Even the little things like these bottles on the ground that both of these have. You can see this one back here. Just these tiny little details that they thought to add really brings the whole package home, I would say. As far as the actual characters go, Rem and Ram, they did a phenomenal job on the composition of both. They both look like they were snapped right as they were in motion. As you can see, we have Rem's flail here. Just the chain looks like this is a very gravity-defying figure, I would say. I've seen a few that have been pretty gnarly. I feel like in the last few years, figure development has just gone off the charts now that like anime and manga is like super mainstream, especially in the West, where you got all these whales who are willing to drop like that much money on a figure. Just phenomenal job by the sculptors. Same with this one. You just see these little belt things coming off of her waist here. And look at that. It's like she's just spray painting this in the air, which this is insane. I've never seen anything like this before on a figure. Like this is really something. This is really something. So as you can see, we got Rem and her flail here, Ram on her rollerblades, which I think is awesome. Both figures predominantly use these transparent elements to kind of invoke this feeling of neon. Right here with the neon signs. On Rem, right here with the neon here and here. And also, both of their jackets are a bit transparent as well, which really adds this futuristic vibe to both of the figures. Getting back to the actual character design of both of these, like I said earlier, they really they really went above and beyond what they needed to do to make these very very cyberpunk-esque. You got the goggles here. They both have these glasses or goggles, I guess. Man, like, I almost don't even know what to say for these figures. Like, it almost it almost takes the words right out of my mouth. I don't really know what to say. Like, these are just really, really top of the line, top tier figures. If I had the money, I would buy both of these, of course. But anyway, yeah, the use of the transparent elements really catches the light nicely. Moving on to the prices, as you probably noticed, here we have Ram for $430. Here we have Rem for $440. This is just a guess, but I'm guessing that the extra $10 went into the extra material they had to use right here to differentiate between Rem and Ram. Anyway, so you can pre-order both of these from Big Bad Toy Store. You will have to put an $88 non-refundable down payment on both. Oh, this one's an $86 non-refundable because it's Ram. It's a little bit cheaper, I guess. I think it's just a percent. But these will be releasing on June 2022. Now, if I had to guess, it's hard to say. It's a little easier with a company like Good Smile, who's been in the game for a while. You can kind of guess how these figures are going to go. I have no idea if these are going to sell out or not. It's a really steep price point. For both of these, you're going to be shelling out like $870 plus tax, which is like almost $1,000. But hey, you know, if you got the funds, then by all means. These two figures are, if I had the money and the space, like, these two figures are not two figures that I would pass up on. Like I said, I've never seen figures quite like these before, where just they're integrated so well into the whole base. It almost like, you know you have an excellent figure when you have the figure and the figure can tell a story, or even multiple stories, you know? Like, I never would have imagined these characters in this type of environment. And, I mean, what can I say? It's really, really great. I'm really psyched about both these figures. I saw the announcement for them a couple days ago, and I wanted to wait for the pre-orders to open so I could tell you guys where to get them if you wanted them. But, yeah, anyway, links for both of these will be in the description down below from Big Bad Toy Store. I looked for other outlets. Big Bad Toy Store was probably the easiest place to navigate that I could find them. I don't even think these are up on Alpha Satellite's website yet. I haven't seen them on Alpha Satellite's website. I honestly don't know the story about how these came about or how they were released. If anybody knows, by all means, let me know down in the comments below. But that's kind of all I have for the video here. Just two figures that most people probably would not have heard of if you're not really in the know. But yeah, that's kind of all I have to say here. So be sure to like the video if you like this kind of content. I mean, or dislike it. That's cool too. You know, either way, it helps me, the algorithm or whatever. But be sure to subscribe if you like this kind of content. For more of this kind of content, hit the bell. Yeah, that's all I got. Take it easy.